Who's there?
You were chosen.
Chosen for what? Who's there? I know you're there!
You were chosen.
In the quiet village of Aotearoa, surrounded by thick forests and endless farmland, life moved slowly. The villagers woke before sunrise, worked in their farms, shared laughter in the evening, and slept early under the calm African sky. But there was something strange about Aotearoa. For many years, the villagers whispered about a mysterious presence that appeared only at midnight. No one had ever seen the visitor. Yet everyone knew it came. Because every time it visited, something changed. Some people woke up richer. Some woke up wiser. And some disappeared. Most villagers believed the story was just another old village tale meant to scare children. Until the night everything changed. The man who didn't believe. Tunda was a young man in his early 30s. He had recently returned from the city after losing his job in Lagos. Life had not been kind to him. His business failed. His friends abandoned him. And his fiancée left him for someone wealthier. With nowhere else to go, he returned to his father's old house in Aotearoa. But unlike the villagers, Tunda did not believe in old stories. When the elders warned him about the midnight visitor, he laughed. "Ghosts do not visit people," he said one evening at the village square. "Only fear visits those who believe nonsense." The old men exchanged worried glances. One of them, Baba Alani, the oldest man in the village, slowly shook his head. "Young man," he said quietly, "some things in this world do not need to be seen to be real." But Tunda only smiled. "Then I will see it myself." The strange signs. That night, something unusual happened. At exactly 12 o'clock midnight, the dogs in the village began barking. Not normal barking, but frightened, desperate barking. The wind suddenly stopped. The crickets went silent. And a strange cold filled the air. Inside his small house, Tunda woke up. He looked around. The room felt different. Heavy. Like someone else was there. He sat up. "Who's there?" he asked. No answer. He stood up and opened the door. Outside, the entire village was silent. The moon was bright. But something about the night felt wrong. Then he heard it. Knock. Soft. Slow. 3 knocks on his wooden door. Tunda frowned. He had just opened the door. No one was there. He stepped outside. Nothing. The street was empty. But suddenly, he heard footsteps. Walking slowly. Right behind him. He turned quickly. No one. Yet the footsteps continued. Crunch. Crunch. Like someone walking on dry sand. But invisible. For the first time, Tunda felt fear. The next morning, when the sun rose, the village was in chaos. A wealthy farmer named Adaimi had disappeared. His door was open. His bed untouched. And on the floor was a strange symbol drawn with ash. The same symbol that had appeared many times before whenever someone vanished. The villagers gathered at the square. Women cried. Men whispered. Baba Alani looked troubled. Then he asked a question. "Who heard the knocks last night?" 3 people slowly raised their hands. One of them was Tunda. The old man looked at him carefully. "You heard it too?" Tunda nodded. "But I saw no one." Baba Alani sighed deeply. "That means the visitor has chosen someone new." The crowd gasped. "Chosen for what?" Tunda asked. But Baba Alani did not answer. The secret of the visitor. Later that day, Baba Alani called Tunda to his house. Inside the small hut were several old books, charms, and ancient carvings. This village, the old man began slowly, has lived with the midnight visitor for over 100 years. Tunda listened silently. No one knows exactly what it is, Baba Alani continued. But we know 3 things. He raised 3 fingers. First, it comes only at midnight. Second, it chooses someone who hears the knocks. And third, he paused. Those who follow it are never the same again. Tunda swallowed. Follow it? Yes, Baba Alani said. Tonight, it will come for you. The longest night. That evening, the entire village was restless. People locked their doors early. Children were told not to look outside. Even the bravest hunters stayed indoors. Only Tunda remained awake. He sat inside his house, waiting. His heart pounded. 11:58 p.m. 11:59 p.m. Then. Knock. 3 slow knocks. The room suddenly grew cold. The door slowly opened, by itself. Tunda stood frozen. Then he heard the footsteps again. Walking away from the door. As if inviting him to follow. His mind screamed run. But his body moved forward. Step by step. Out of the house. Into the dark village road. The invisible footsteps continued ahead. Leading him toward the forest. The path into darkness. The deeper Tunda walked into the forest, the stranger everything became. The wind whispered through the trees. The moon disappeared behind thick clouds. Yet the footsteps continued. Crunch. 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 Finally, they stopped in front of a massive ancient tree. The largest tree in the forest. A tree the villagers called the Tree of Secrets. Tunda's breathing grew heavy. Then something impossible happened. A voice spoke. But there was no one there. Tunda. He spun around. Who's there? Silence. Then the voice spoke again. You were chosen because you do not believe. His heart raced. What are you? He shouted. The wind suddenly blew violently. Leaves swirled around him. Then the voice answered. I am the Watcher of Aoturo. The truth revealed. The voice explained something terrifying. For over a century, an unseen force had protected the village. It appeared every midnight to test the hearts of the villagers. Some were rewarded. Some were warned. And some were taken away because they carried darkness in their hearts. Farmer Adaimi had not disappeared randomly. He had been hiding terrible secrets. Secrets that would have destroyed the village. You think you are here by accident, the voice said. But you were chosen. Chosen for what? Tunda whispered. To see what others cannot. To protect what others ignore. To become the next Watcher. The choice. Tunda felt the ground shake slightly. The forest grew brighter. The invisible presence moved closer. You have a choice, the voice said. Return to the village and forget this night. Or accept the gift, and see the truth in people's hearts. But there is a cost. What cost? Tunda asked. You will never again live a normal life. You will hear the knocks forever. You will walk the village every midnight. Watching. Judging. Protecting. Tunda stood in silence. His old life had already been destroyed. Maybe this was his purpose. Slowly, he nodded. I accept. The new midnight visitor. The wind stopped. The forest became quiet again. The presence disappeared. And suddenly, Tunda collapsed. When he woke up, it was morning. He was lying beside the great tree. He returned to the village. Nothing looked different. But everything felt different. Because that night, at exactly midnight, 3 knocks echoed through the village again. But this time, the footsteps belonged to Tunda. And though no one could see him, the midnight visitor was watching. The whispered legend. Years later, the villagers began noticing strange things. Criminals suddenly confessed their crimes. Greedy men mysteriously left the village. Lost children were always found safely. And every midnight, the dogs still barked. The wind still stopped. And 3 knocks still echoed in the dark. But no one ever saw the visitor. Only one old man knew the truth. Baba Alani. And whenever someone asked about the midnight visitor, he simply smiled and said, "Some protectors do their work best when no one sees them." And somewhere in the silent village night, footsteps still walk the empty roads. Watching. Listening. Waiting. Because in Ayatoro, the midnight visitor is always there. Even if no one sees him.